I took back my house, and my mom can't stop me. When I was 16, my dad died suddenly. It was devastating. He left behind a small business, a house, and savings, all of which he willed entirely to me. My mom wasn't included in the will. Dad made sure everything was ironclad. She couldn't contest it. Legally, the house and everything in it was mine, but I couldn't access it fully until I turned 21. 2 months after Dad passed, my mom moved her new boyfriend, Mark, into the house. He had 2 kids from a previous marriage, 15 and 17. From the beginning, it was clear whose family she was prioritizing. Every weekend, there were trips to amusement parks, dinners out, and vacations that Mark's kids got to go on. I was busy with school, or should spend time with grandparents. She never explicitly told me I couldn't come, but the message was obvious. Mark acted like he owned the house. He rearranged furniture, installed a sound system, and made decisions as if he was the head of the household. Every time I reminded him, or my mom, that this was technically my home, I was met with guilt trips or dismissive smirks. By the time I turned 17, I couldn't take it anymore. One evening, after a particularly heated argument where I told Mark he had no claim to my home, my mom said, calmly, maybe it's better if you move out. It'll keep the peace here. That was the final straw. I packed my things and moved in with my aunt. My mom visited occasionally, telling me she loved me, but it was clear she was protecting her new family over her son. During college, I focused on myself, my studies, my career, and my future. The house remained in my name, and I always kept tabs on it, checking property taxes, maintenance, and bills. Every visit to the neighborhood reminded me of what I had lost. The house that should have been my sanctuary had been taken over by someone else. By the time I graduated, I had saved enough to start renovations. I wanted to modernize the house and eventually rent it out, helping cover my master's degree expenses. I called my mom to let her know my plans. She didn't answer. I tried multiple times over a week, leaving messages. Silence. When I finally arrived at the house, I confirmed that they were on vacation. I made a decision. It was time to take official possession. I changed the locks. The house was legally mine, and it was about time it felt like it. A few days later, my mom, Mark, and his kids returned. My mom called immediately, yelling through the phone, accusing me of being heartless. Mark was livid, threatening legal action, claiming it was unfair. The next morning, I went to the house in person. I wanted to handle it calmly. My mom stormed in the moment she saw me, screaming about how I could do this to her family. Mark followed, furious, while his teenage kids looked confused and scared. His daughter, who had recently announced she was pregnant, started crying. I stood firm. This is my property. It has been mine since the day my father passed. You've had 8 years here while I was pushed aside. I'm giving you 2 weeks to find somewhere else to live. After that, renovations begin, and no exceptions will be made. My mom tried guilt-tripping me, saying, think of the kids, the baby. How can you be so cruel? I reminded her, when I was 17, you prioritized your new family over me. I had no home, no choice, and had to live with relatives. Don't lecture me about being cruel. I'm taking what is legally and morally mine. Soon, her family got involved. They called me, emailed me, and tried to shame me publicly. They claimed I was throwing a pregnant teenager onto the streets, that I had no heart, that I was destroying the family. I didn't back down. I reminded them, calmly but firmly, that I had spent 8 years being pushed aside, ignored, and even asked to leave my own home. Nobody came to my defense back then. Now, it was my turn to protect my rights. Neighbors began to notice the tension. Some even witnessed my mom and Mark trying to break into the house, calling me names from the yard. I didn't respond. I documented everything, just in case. Renovation crews were scheduled to arrive in a week. I walked through the house, taking photos, planning the work. I felt a sense of justice and satisfaction I hadn't felt in years. This house was mine. I had fought for it, waited patiently, and now finally, it was under my control. That evening, my mom called me again. She asked if we could talk. I answered cautiously. I just want to understand why you're being so unreasonable, she said. I replied firmly. I've been unreasonable for 8 years while you lived here, prioritized your new family over me, and asked me to leave my own home. It's my house now. I'm finally taking possession. She didn't have a comeback. She hung up. I felt a wave of relief, anger, and closure all at once. The renovations are nearly complete. Soon, I'll be able to rent out the property and even move in myself if I want. I've regained control over what was mine, and I've learned an important lesson about boundaries, patience, and standing up for myself. I'm not heartless. I'm protecting what's legally and morally mine. And after years of being pushed aside, that's exactly what I need to do.